questions?
No, did you send them to me?
I'll send it to you now. Do you want me to email it to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Frederick. Frederick.
All right, I just sent it.
Fred.
All right.
My apologies.
No, it's okay.
Frederick.
At this angle, you and China really look alike.
Really?
Yeah, I see her.
Sometimes I see her. A lot of times I don't. I'm like, I don't know who you look like.
I think it's because you spend so much time looking at her.
Well, I need to go get
Probably so.
my kids.
Probably so.
Mommy, we're live.
Yeah, I need to go get a blood test for my kids to find out who they are.
Oh my goodness. Well, they look just like you, so
She couldn't deny me at all.
but she could not deny you even if she wanted to. And that's what I saw on Saturday. I was like, oh my goodness, she is so much her twin. Just a shorter version.
Hold up.
Yes.
Well, I wanted to be 5'8" my whole life. I just wanted to be her height.
Really?
Yeah, and then I just stopped growing at like 5'6".
Oh my goodness.
It's a trick of the it's a trick of the enemy.
Oh yes, it is. Yes, it is.
But you know what? Number. I did, Ma. And you know what? Now that especially because a lot of the guys aren't as tall as I thought they would have been when I was younger. Because you know when you're young, everybody's tall. But then as you get older, people aren't as tall.
Yes.
And like a lot of guys are.
On Leela number. Just do a screenshot. No, just send me a link to grandma number.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I never finished it.
See? Talking about your baby.
Love you.
Okay, I'll make sure that we're actually showing up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it says 6 people are on here. Hello, everybody. If you guys can hear us, okay, go ahead and let us know that you're here. Let me know where you're from. Who's on here with us tonight? Hi, Andrea. She says, hey, y'all. Hi, Andrea. Thank you for joining us tonight. All right. When you guys come in, if you would please, I can't see what's happening. Andrea's from Arizona. All right. West Coast, West Side. Well, thanks for joining us, Andrea. It's still pretty early over your way. But we appreciate you stopping in for our Thursday night book club. Who else we have in here with us besides Andrea from Arizona? I hope you guys had a great week. It's Al. Hey, girl, how you doing? She says,
"Hey, listen, Virginia. My first experience with Virginia. I was on my way to DC for college, and I remember going to sleep, waking up, going to sleep again, waking up, and going to sleep, and still being in Virginia. I was like, how big is this thing?
Oh my goodness, that is Texas.
Mind you, I'm from Jersey, so the state ain't but this big. So.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. I felt that way driving cross country from Georgia to Texas. It seemed like in my head, I was like, oh, as soon as we get to Dallas, we should be halfway there because it's like 10 hours from Atlanta to Dallas. Mm-hmm. Girl, Dallas to El Paso. I kept saying, are we lost? what is happening? I'm like, are we going in circles? I was like, oh my goodness, I will never do this again. I hate it.
Yeah, it takes about 4 hours or something so to drive through the whole thing, right? Like a day,
yes.
a whole day.
Yes, it was exactly a whole day. And then once we got out of Texas, it took us just a couple of hours to get from there to, well, it didn't take, it would probably take maybe like another 10 hours. Because I think we did the whole trip in a day and a half, I want to say, because we was trying to go party that night. Hi, Deborah Jones. Hello. Hi, my girl Gigi. That's my beautiful sister Gigi Faison. Hey, lady. Deborah Jones is here. Gigi is from North Carolina. Isn't that correct, Gigi? Al is from Virginia. Andrea is from Arizona. Charlotte Lewis. Hello, Charlotte. She's from Charlotte, Baton Rouge. Oh, she's from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Oh, yes. Mr. B and I keep talking about we going to Louisiana. Well, we probably should have been going there in a couple of weeks, but we're going to the beach. There is Stephanie. Stephanie's like, she's late. Girl, you're never late. Stephanie at Humble, Texas. Stephanie, I was going to join you guys last night, and I had you on my my list to watch your commentary about Escape and SWV. So Millie, she does that every Wednesday night at 6 o'clock. I think it's 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. Isn't that correct, Stephanie? And I worked late last night. So you remember I told you yesterday, I thought yesterday was actually Thursday. So I went into work a day that I wasn't supposed to go into work. And so it just threw my whole week off. Actually, Monday threw my week off.
I completely feel you. This whole weekend was like a warp. It was a time warp.
Oh, it was. It was.
I think it's because the spa got us all off the whole.
My gosh.
Yeah.
Yes. Millie and V, I'm sure you guys may have seen V's. I think she did a short. And we were on the short, we were actually at the restaurant. But we had a time on Saturday. The girls, I mean, it was probably 10, 11 of us. I had a spa retreat. And I tell you guys, I have exposed Melissa. She will never be the same again.
No, wait. 1 second. We're going to give a shout out to the spa, put it out there, get a sponsorship or something.
Oh, okay. Yes, it was Spa Land. And so it is in Duluth, Georgia. Yeah. And it's actually it's a Korean bathhouse, spa. Mm-hmm. And so, but oh my goodness, we were rubbed and scrubbed and oh my God, it was an experience, wasn't it?
For sure. Yes. I had no idea what I was about to walk into. It kind of reminds me of I was telling Miss Wani this, that a couple weeks back I did a mountain race. So I went running through the mountains. It was 6.5 miles, 1,500 foot elevation. I had so much fun. But just before that, somebody warned me and said, okay, it's 1,500 foot elevation, all of this stuff. And I'm like, I'm from the city. I have no idea. I have no frame of reference for what any of this means. So sure enough, I got there. I was going up there hands and knees, on my hands and knees because the incline was so, was so steep. But that's exactly what it was like. 1 second. We got some feedback in the background. 1 second. All right. We're good now. So yeah, that's exactly what it was like. Miss Wani gave me a heads up. She was like, okay, people are going to be naked. I had no idea that when I turned the corner, it was going to be.
You just free.
So free. And honestly, yeah, listen, it was a bit of a shock at first, but then after, just getting and comfortable. Yeah, I was chilling. I was having full conversations with people I just met.
Yes. It was very, very good. I think a couple of my girlfriends, they were shocked initially, but afterwards they were like, okay, you're really exposing me to something. You're really opening up my horizons. But afterwards, everyone had the same reaction, was like, this was incredible.
For sure. I mean, talk about the sugar scrub a little bit.
Oh my gosh. So they give you this sugar scrub. They have a lot of different services. One of the services is actually this scrub. And so, I mean, they turn you every type of way. It's almost like we were on a rotisserie and they lift your arms up and they're scrubbing you. I never realized how much dead skin I had on me. And I saw some that was worse. But I was like, wow, look at that. But oh my goodness, she turned me all types of ways. And
listen, when we talked about it, I was like, why did I feel like I was getting ready for Thanksgiving dinner and I was the turkey?
Yes. And
you walked out feeling so refreshed afterwards.
You were.
I didn't even see nothing. You know, Miss Wani said that she saw like the dirt coming off of people. You know, the world may never know. She put a hot towel on my face and I was
yes. Yes. But it was really good. Everyone was like, you can have however many birthdays you want to. This was good.
It was great. Yeah, listen, it was a first, but it definitely will not be a last. Honestly, it was a lot of fun.
It was. One quick story was, now when you go to this type of space, everything is like, you know, you're totally nude. You're in this area and you're with other women. Everybody's nude. But the thing about it is that you see like every type of shape. It was just like, it was very freeing. Mm-hmm. And we had like the pool, we had the jacuzzi, we had like several like different purifying rooms and things like that. But when the lady who did my service, it was a total service. So they scrubbed you, then they actually bathed you. And the thing about it was they did not use any cheap stuff, did they?
No.
They were using the expensive stuff.
Honestly, I had only gotten 30 minutes of sleep that whole day. So I cannot lie to you. I don't remember much of what happened. I just got up on the table and it seemed like I was out. And then I woke up, you know, she woke me up and put something that looked like milk in my hand. And I was like, she went like this. I was like, okay, I guess we're doing this. And I went right back to sleep.
And went back to sleep. It was amazing. Gigi said nudity, yikes. Oh my gosh. You would have. It
wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. It was not like that. I feel like it's definitely the energy that you bring into there, and they do their best to create just such a nice, relaxing, open environment. Like you could walk around with no shoes and not feel any weirdness about it. And trust me.
Yes, me too. Because I'm real funny about my feet on bare floor.
Well, the fact that I did it, and then the way that she took the little water pail and just
splashed the water on you. Yes. You like basting.
Marinating.
Exactly.
But one thing that Miss Wani kept saying, and I can agree to this too, just like feeling up on your legs the whole night, or just like feeling your arms. Like you felt so smooth.
I was so smooth. Even at dinner, I had my shoes and I kept rubbing my feet together and touching my legs. I was so soft. So soft. And it was just an amazing experience. We will definitely do it again.
Yeah.
Yes, we will definitely do it again. Hi, Kim Toy. Yes, V did not get naked. She slept the whole time. I don't even think she went into one of the relaxation rooms. I think but she slept the whole time. So I think tell them about the VJ steam. I didn't get the VJ steam. Millie, did you get the Millie got the VJ steam.
I did. I mean, it was cool, but I'm gonna be honest, like I could have done that at home. And in my mind, I was like, why don't I do this at home? So yeah, it was, don't get me wrong, it was a great first experience, but I remember sitting there and being like, yeah, I could do this on my own time. Now, I feel like everything else I got, I 100% appreciate somebody else doing it for me. Like, don't get me wrong, you know, like I can bathe myself, but there was something about being bathed by somebody else. I don't know.
Wasn't that something?
I get why the royalty do it, because I was like, well, I want to be touched on by somebody else. I'm like, it's so relaxing.
It was so relaxing. And everyone came out the room with the same dazed look on their face. We were so relaxed.
When my mom woke up from her nap, she came to find me and she said I was just sitting in a chair, just looking off into the distance, just smiling.
Yes.
Oh, goodness.
Yes. So tomorrow's video, I'm actually going to be sharing snippets of my birthday weekend, which actually just ended on Monday. And then I have something this weekend, next weekend, and then it's our anniversary, so I'll be gone. But so make sure you watch tomorrow's video. I think you guys will be entertained, and you can kind of spend your my birthday with me. So you ready to talk about this week's book club, our chapters?
For sure. Now, the only thing is, we got so excited about talking about the weekend that we never introduced ourselves.
You are so right. So, go. You go first today this week.
Hi, my name is Melissa Ingrid Lawrence, and I am a YouTuber. The content on my channel, which is named after myself, Melissa Ingrid Lawrence, is going to be documenting my journey on the way to freedom. So mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, and emotionally. And a lot of what I'm bringing to the channel are the things that I'm currently using on that path there so that other people can join me along the way as well. And content around the channel on a whole is going to be around what I like to call the 7 F's of freedom. So faith, family, finances, future, fashion, fitness, and fun. So it's going to be a lifestyle vlog, and I'm posting videos. I am getting it together, and they're going to be out there, and I'm very, very, very excited about that. And I want to give a special thank you to Miss Wani from Wani's house for doing this book club with me. It's been being able to help me get a bit more comfortable on the space and just feel more comfortable doing it. So thank you for ushering me in.
Oh, you are very welcome. You are very welcome. I tell a lot of people who are starting their channel, my biggest advice is like to just get out there and to just start. It is hard. It is a lot of work. It is a lot of work. And there are peaks and valleys. I talk about the peaks and valleys all the time. There are peaks and valleys. But at the end of the day, I think as long as you're doing something that you enjoy, it's not work. And you won't get burnt out with it. So I welcome you to this journey and learning about yourself, because you're going to evolve. And when you look back at your beginning videos, you're going to see a lot of growth. And so I'm happy to have been a part of that. So you can look back and see me and be like, that's that crazy old lady who took me to the Korean spa. But
I mean, I won't have to look far. I'll just look to the left, right?
I know, huh? So for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Wani. This is my channel, is Wani's House, and it is a lifestyle channel. Basically, I really try to reach now that I'm 50, I guess 50, but maybe 45 plus, young lady who is trying to navigate like life after like her 40s, whatever is happening, because a lot of things is happening with us when we are like 49 and a minute. Yeah, your body start turning against you, and things start happening that you're just not like that didn't happen before. So we're navigating that. We're navigating taking care of our home, loving our families, as well as being fabulous at any age, but especially over 50. So welcome. And so the book club is actually something that Melissa brought to me, and she thought it would be interesting because she's a young Gen Zer. I got it right this time. You're not a millennial anymore. She's a young Gen Zer, and she is beginning to get out here and start dating. And so, as we know, a lot of you guys who are on here with us tonight, when we began dating and meeting people is totally different now than it was for us. I think we had it a whole lot easier. And so Melissa chose this book, Get Into I Do, to kind of peak. It really made her excited about dating and getting out there, but she wanted to get like our thoughts on it. Is this expert supposedly? Does her tips actually work? Because according to her, she was very successful in matchmaking, and when people followed her tips, they found a mate and they got married. But I want to emphasize that this was this was written in 1980s. Definitely dating in the 80s is not dating in the 2000s, and dating from the 2000s is definitely different from dating now. Well, the late 90s, 2000s when I was dating. All right. So we're on chapter 11, and this chapter is that right? Chapter 11? Or did I skip?
Chapter 10.
Girl, I have gone all the way, because you know what, this chapter 10 is no sex without commitment. How men fall in love and women fall into bondage. Woo! That whole,
That's what I'm saying. That was a soundbite.
That was like, woo!
And
how do we do that?
Because like there's things that are said in our society, but I feel like the thing is, although part of what she's saying and aspects of what she's saying might be antiquated, overall there's still strands there that have lasted the test of time. Like from generation to generation, these were the things that were said. And I feel like a lot of things in the past were just said without an actual why. Like people didn't give the why behind the what. So people ended up making the same mistakes because they're not understanding why they're ending up there. And I think something cool that she mentions in this, whether or not you decide to, wait to have sex.
You're buffering. Or is that me?
What happened?
You're stuck.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
it has a little spin. Okay.
Okay.
So states that a man knows before he meets a woman if he's available for commitment, but often what it takes is a woman requiring him to make that commitment. This means nothing less than a woman saying, I am not going to have sex with you until you promise me continuity, i.e., on a regular basis, exclusivity with you and only you. In the parentheses, I have like what that means. So continuity on a regular basis, like seeing each other regularly, exclusivity with you and only you, and longevity for a long period of time. In other words, commitment. This is a promise that he must make soberly, at least a day in advance of consummation, and preferably in the cold light of day when you are talking and not engaging in sexual foreplay. If he promises that he is interested in a long-term sexually exclusive continuous relationship leading to the mutual goal that you both appreciate, which may or may not include legal marriage, then he is on his way to love. Sometime a man will make 2 out of the 3 promises. If you get continuity and longevity, he's probably having sex with other people. If you get sexual exclusivity and continuity but not longevity, you're looking at a short romance. And if he tells you this, believe me, he means it. Don't think you can seduce a masculine man. You can't. He's too smart for that. But usually, instead of believing him, we translate his words into, once he sees how wonderful I am, he'll fall in love with me and we'll be married. More often than not, it doesn't happen. So that was a little, I was like, okay, all right. So the first question that I have is, what do you think about what she said? And Miss Wani, if you could drop the link, that way if anybody wants to hop up and talk.
That would be, yes, thank you. Because I'm not on my game this week. I'm a day behind.
We're gonna get it together. I told you
I'm a day behind.
And get through this.
So I've dropped the link down. And so I actually think that, yes, well, I'm not sure, because we really need a man on here. But I do believe that, I feel like my hair is sticking up. I do believe that men don't necessarily know that they want a commitment. I think that because once again, like I say, we are the ones who typically make the decisions. But they do know is if they want to be with you, right? So not necessarily making a commitment is, I don't think that's on any man's radar. I'm not, unless they're a certain age, right? So I think like in your early 20s, no man typically is looking to get married. I think that's the age that you are out there, you're exploring, trying to figure out yourself, what you like, what you don't like, all that other stuff. In your 30s, women are typically late 20s, early 30s. Women are typically thinking about, okay, I'm about ready to start, to settle down and to do all these other things. Men, not so much. I think they're a couple of years behind us, so they still trying to sow their oats, right? So I think like in the mid to late 30s is when men finally start coming around. And so we've already been there already. So when they come around, yes, they might be looking for someone to spend more time with. But in the beginning, they're not. I don't think that they are looking just to be committed. So I don't think you're going to start off being the only one. That is not going to be it, because that's just like putting all your eggs in one basket, and you just picking up a whole bunch of eggs. You don't know if you got a chicken egg, a goose egg, an alligator egg. You don't know. So so that part I don't really agree with. But the other thing is sex without commitment. We've all had sex without commitment. So sometimes you just don't want to be bothered. I mean, like that. So you have to figure out if this is something that you want. Because all the times a lady may not, she just wants to go out and have fun. That's her prerogative. Men do it all the time. But I think if you are looking to be in a serious relationship, then no, you should not have sex without commitment, because you are muddying the waters. You're going to get all clouded, and we think differently. Men can have be intimate with women and not have no feelings afterwards. Women, we're built differently. So, you have to think about, you have like soul ties. And then you don't know who else they've been with. And you don't want your spirit all tangled up with all that other stuff. So, that's what have to say about that. But I saw somebody say something. Oh, Stephanie, agree with me. It's true. They talking about thumbsing up the channel. Okay. So, guys, so Millie, what do you think about it?
Well, I feel like it's definitely something that I was raised with. And just on a whole, I truly believe that. So I truly believe that, at least just the way that I know I'm set up and built, I knew for a while that if I did go there with a man, that it would really mean something. And so as a result, I haven't had sex. So it's something that I do believe is something that should be saved for marriage. And I know for myself, when that time happens, he's mine. So I guess that's just, how my mind is, like you read the story with Leslie and how she was out here going crazy. She was knocking down Mark's door. She was following him. She was doing all of that. When I heard that feelings can run that deep, I was like,
yes,
that's fire. And especially in college, seeing what the results were with girls who were doing it, it wasn't necessarily, and I was just like, yeah, 1 and 1 is not adding up. So I'm gonna leave that one out. And I honestly, it was a decision that I made personally. You can't force that decision on anybody. But everything that she was saying, I feel like for me, the reason why there was a light bulb moment for me was because what she said logically made sense, but in connection to things that I was told growing up. And she, a little bit further down in this, she goes more into like why the setup is the way that it is, why men can have casual sex and women just can't, and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so I feel like with everything that she said, of course, I don't have any actual like experience with this, and that's part of the reason why seeking wisdom and speaking with people who have had more experiences than me. So yeah, on a whole, I agree with it. So
and so I I have experienced like being like so like in lust with someone. And like I stated before, even like dating younger or whatever. And so like I say, it can really cloud your judgment about a lot of things. And I think and I used to see a lot of young ladies in college and even like older women just do things that normally in a rational situation they you wouldn't normally do. And I think that that happens also because like I state, when when you're with somebody, it's like it's a like it's like your souls are like intertwined, right? So that can be a very spiritual type of experience. So and so, but like I stated before, men's experiences is totally different.
Yeah.
It's just totally different, period. I remember Mr. B and I talking when we were dating, and I forgot the conversation, but anyway, I was like, how could you be like a player? How could you be like a player? And he'll tell you, even when we met, I was not trying to be with nobody, and I was a conquest for him. I was a challenge because I don't know, he just thought he was the player from the Himalayas, and I was just gonna fall for it, and I didn't. But he was like, but so when I didn't, he left me and went to somebody else who did. And I was like, well, how could you be like that? Because they were just together casually. And I didn't understand that. And he was like, it was nothing, because how I felt about her at that moment was, in that protection. He was like, it was just a release. And so I just think that, when you are dating younger, old, you just need to know, like, sometimes, you have to think logically and listen to what men say, because they actually tell on themselves. They're not that smart. They actually tell on themselves. And you watch their actions. If their words and their actions don't match, and their actions lean more towards them trying to get you into bed or in some type of situation, or they always want you to come out at night, late at night, or they wanted you to come over at night. You have to watch those types of things, because things do happen. And so, and you don't want to be in a situation where you can't control what is about to happen. So Stephanie says, after a few months, I asked my husband when we were dating what his intentions were for us. Okay. And that's one good way to, ask, to find out, what it is that they want. Because I do remember asking Mr. B, because I think for a lady, we need to know, like, what it was. What did I used to ask him? I might have to ask him to come up here. I used to ask him.
Oh, can you say
question
to answer some of these questions? I know it's putting him on the spot. I mean, the worst he can say is no.
I know. He's eating, but I'll ask him. But it was a question basically like where are we? Because he did not want to put on he didn't want titles. That's what it was. He didn't want us to have titles. And I was like, okay, we can do this, because but know that if I don't have, if I don't have a title with you. He said, well, we good, we just dating. Okay, so then if I'm just dating, that means I can date other people, right? So he was like, why do we have to have titles? We don't have to have titles, but I need to know, like Stephanie said, what are your intentions? If you are dating if you want to date, that means you can date, you can see other people, but then that means you won't be with me. So you have to have like boundaries and parameters and things that you stand firm on. Al's right here, and she says, where have I been? I thought it was up to us if we wanted to be committed to them. Just cause he wants me don't mean I want him. And I said that in the beginning. You are correct, because at the end of the day, we are the deciding factors. We're the one who really decides if whatever we're gonna do. We just allow them to think they're running things, but it's really up to us. You're totally correct, Al. Janine, thank you, guys. Yes, Janine says 15 people watching and only 7 likes. Let's get them likes up, please. All right, girl. He looked at me crazy and said, I don't know. We just seeing each other. See, and that's the thing, because they don't like to be to feel like they are in a commitment, or like being like not pigeonholed. That's the wrong word. But they don't want to be made to feel like they need to choose, because for some reason it's hard for them to, because they always think, well, they don't always think, but then they think that there might be something else better, or I'm going to stop having fun, or whatever the case may be. But and you can still do all of that, but you're just not going to do it all with me.
I do have a question though. When you guys were dating, you did say that when you met Mr. B that you weren't interested in a relationship. So I guess I wonder how the outcome might be different if somebody led with the fact that they only date with the intentions of marriage. Because then the whole "what are we" conversation.
But how do you date? But how do you date with the intentions of marriage? You have to be out there. So you can't just date one person and think that is just going to be it. That's not it. The first person who you date is not going to be the person that you marry. Mm-hmm. I seriously doubt it. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that you can actually date with the intentions of marriage. You need to date with the intentions of maybe like just dating, because you got to know the person. All that other stuff grows over time. So you can't just come into a relationship and be like, okay, we dating. I want to be married. Do you want to be married? What is your timeline to be married? All that other stuff, because it just doesn't flow like that. It just doesn't. And there are going to be things that happens during any relationship that's going to throw you for a loop. And you're going to be like, I don't want to deal with that. So you're going to date this person with the intention of marriage, and then something goes totally off. And then you're going to feel like you wasted your time. You need to date being open-minded and being open to learn and to receive, and then kind of decipher, like I stated, what it is that you like, what it is that you don't like, and then you compromise, because we're not going to get everything we want from a person ever, and that person's not going to get what they want 100% what we want also. But you can find a person who will compromise with you, and it's a little bit of give and take.
I just know I was too old for games, and if he didn't want anything serious, I needed to move on. He came to me a little later and said, I'm only seeing you. I want us to be committed to one another. And that's something that the author goes into a little bit later. The next prompt is actually, the author states that I believe that a couple should wait until they are into the imperfect phase and can see one another as whole people, imperfection and all, before they consummate the relationship. Compatibility, along with natural chemistry and good communication skills, is the friendship quotient in a relationship. When a woman feels like her man is a dear friend before making love, she is safer in her choice. I advise women to talk about all the issues that are of significant interest to them and to their man. If you have strong feelings about politics, religion, ethics, hobbies, cultural events, sports, size of family, career goals, physical defects that might impact the relationship, past marriages and how they failed, you should talk about them before sex. However, I warn you, Don't discuss old boyfriends or past sexual experiences. A man likes to idealize his woman, and it is not in your best interest to appear shop worn. 1 second.
Hi, Trenia. I've put the link down in the chat. If you click that, it'll bring you here up on the screen.
Men who want sex only decide not to be responsible for their woman's feelings. They hold her responsible for hers, for herself. And if she gives sex without commitment, it is her loss and his gain. Masculine men believe that if a woman is, quote unquote, man enough to have casual sex, he has no responsibility to deal with birth control or the possibility of disease. Every man for himself, even if one of them is a woman.
Right. So Al pretty much said what I said. Nobody starts out like that, in her opinion. It's when the relationship progresses to a certain point, then marriage may come to mind, but you still may not be ready, but the idea and the intentions are there. Right. So like I said, you're going to have to date and get to know people. I don't think you, like I said, I don't think you can date with the intentions of marriage. You can want to be married, and you know that you want to be married, but just know that everybody you date isn't marriage worthy. You see what I'm saying?
I get that.
Al agrees. I mean, Janine agrees. Click the blue link in the chat. Yes, click the blue link in the chat. So I do agree. Okay, so in the Al says, "Yep, exactly, yep." So when the author, the part that you just read, that the author stated that, read that. I think it was like the second paragraph. When a woman has sex, it's intimate.
Oh, men who want sex only decide not to be responsible for their woman's feelings. They hold her responsible for herself. So if she gives sex without commitment, it is her loss and his gain. Masculine men believe that if a woman is man enough to have casual sex, he has no responsibility to deal with birth control or the possibility of disease. Every man for himself, even if one of them is woman.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what do you guys think about that statement? What do you guys, how do you guys feel about that? Because I do think that some relationships may start off casually, and they grow into other things. And matter of fact, I believe most relationships start off as casual relationships, right? So you're dating, you're going out. So dating, what is dating? You might go for dinner, you might go to a movie, you might go to amusement park, especially when you're younger. We used to go to amusement parks. And so, you did things like that. But, women, once again, we are more mental about things. And I think a lot of times we're more intentional about things. So we definitely we go more on how people make us feel, right? So if you are dating someone and he does like things that make you feel good, he might, like, if you like, he holds your hands, he might kiss you on your neck, he compliments you, things like that, right? But then as you're dating, and so this is casual, so you're dating, and then you go and you might be intimate with somebody, because a lot of people who are intimate and they're dating casually, they end up getting married. Now there's a lot of them who don't, because you have to kiss a lot of frogs before you get your prince, but there are a lot that don't. But I think that you just have to be very realistic about what your expectations are, and not be clouded about how you think it should be. So you have to kind of like live in the now. And because a lot of times we daydream, and we date what we daydream, right? Because I remember being younger, and I daydreamed that it was going to be like this and like that, or whatever, my dating, and how I was going to meet him, It was nothing like that. I didn't even like Mr. B. So everything that I thought that I wanted, and that I thought that it was going to be in my head, it was none of that. It was none of that at all. But there were other things that, he showed me. Then I was like, oh, I like this. Or it piqued my interest. But we waited. I mean, I waited because at the end of the day, I was the one in charge of how far we were going to go. So once again, if it was just something I didn't see nothing from it, I just didn't see nothing from it. And you go your way, I go mine. What she says, I don't think you can date for marriage. You have some men who will play at that, exactly, but you have to be aware and listen to what comes out of his mouth. Exactly. Normally he would tell you what he stands for. Yes. And a lot of times men will tell you what they think you want to hear, because once again, I said that you have to listen to them because they will tell on themselves. They listen to you too. So if you're like, well, I'm saving myself for marriage, and I'm dating with the intention of getting married, then because they play games and they'll be like, well, I want to be married too. And that's the same thing I want to do. I'm celibate now. Now that's a rare one. If you find a man who's celibate, now there's some out there, but not that many. And I'm celibate because now he's gonna be celibate because he know that you're not doing anything. And then because they can play games on you, and that is that's an ego thing. So you have to be careful about what you say so that you won't become somebody's prey. So don't go just be out there and just giving everything and letting him know everything. Listen to what they're saying when you're out there. And so that because like I said, they will definitely tell on themselves. So there will be some information that I would hold back, and just let your actions, lead to where you're going to go. If he's interested, he'll stay around and he'll respect it. If he's not, then he won't. And then if he tells you, well, yeah, I'm gonna date you, but I'm gonna date you, but I'm gonna have somebody on the side. You're gonna have to figure out that that's not what you want. That's not what you want. But I just think I would not go in thinking because you're not, he's not.
Okay.
Aunt Leela is here. Hey, Aunt Leela. Aunt Leela said, yes, watch his actions along with his words. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
hey, Grandma. V said they would play snake in the grass. Okay. Janine said, let them earn brownie points. Exactly. Kim Toy agreed with me. Yes, Wani. Who is that? Hand pink waving. Hey, I put the link down in the description box for you guys. If you guys want to come up, you have anything to say. Janine said points. Oh, brownie points. Auntie Leela said dating can be very stressful if you're only thinking of marriage while you're dating. Exactly.
I guess in my mind, the way that I considered it is, for me, I never really allow it to get to off rip. If I couldn't see a future with somebody, I've never really dated them. I've only ever had 2 relationships as a result. And that's not because I haven't had other like people pursue me. It's just through spending time with them and really getting to see them move. I'll just be like, this would be fun. I could have fun here, but nah, I don't see this really being a thing. So, and I feel like that has allowed me to be protected from a lot of stuff, traumas that people are now trying to recover from. And it's I heard it recently put like this. You know how some people say FOMO, fear of missing out? For me, it's just JOMO, so joy of missing out, because some of those things, now that I'm looking back, you know, it looked fun when I was younger, but then you see like the results of it and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely like a lot of what you were saying. Like now that you said that, I'm not telling nobody that, you know.
Yes.
So like that makes sense, because like one, that's not anybody's business, because it's the decision that I made for myself.
That's right.
You know, so like I completely can see how somebody would like try to manipulate that. And I'm thinking about it. Was somebody even manipulated to the point of the altar?
I'm sure.
I know a guy that did that.
I'm sure. There's probably a lot of them.
Up on 11 to and tell the story. Then my mom said she has a story. She knows somebody who did it.
Wow. Yes.
I thought it was. I mean, I guess truth is stranger than fiction. So right.
Yes.
I wouldn't even imagine that, because you said that, and I was like, but nobody gonna get married to just have that happen. I was like, that's wild.
All right, here's V. Hey, girly.
Hey, how you doing?
That one right there.
Melissa told me to jump on one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I lived in Jersey City, I think it was in maybe 1988. I know the two, not really know them, but know of them. There was this young lady, Christian girl, going to church. You could always see her with her Bible. This guy, he started pursuing her. She told him that she would not have sex until she got married. He started going to church with her.
Mm-hmm.
They got married. He left her right after that. He said he just wanted to know what a virgin felt like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I have heard stories like that also, because for some reason, a virgin being somebody's first, or you know, it's all about what can I get it, you know, and it means nothing to them. So like I stated before, those would not be like things that I would have in my conversation. It would not come up. It would be, you know, whatever my reason it is, you know, is I'm dating. And then at the same time, when I was thinking when you were speaking, Millie, I'm like, when you date, you need to date more than one person. You're going to have to date more than one person. I mean at a time. Because the way, I mean, I understand how you're saying, how you're thinking about things, but you cannot just be like, okay, well, I'm dating you and I'm only dating you, and then that's it. We can't hear you. You're on mute.
My mom was also talking. I didn't want all the feedback, but
the other thing, sorry.
Oh yeah.
The other thing is that I share with Melissa, and I share with all of them. Someone cannot get to know your sex before they get to know you.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, I have someone I know. I'm putting people on blast. They get to know you. I know someone, and she is in her, I think, late 30s and never been in a relationship, a committed relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And her and I had the conversation about it. And I told her, I said, do you think it's the way that you present yourself? I said, in the beginning, getting to know someone, I said, you could talk about just about everything under the sun. Why are you talking about sex and what you could do and what you can do and all of that? I said, to me, in a case where in a man's mind, he might be just, you know, tunnel vision for just what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
The only how someone could take something, well, you could be in a predicament where someone takes something from you, it's illegal, you know, in terms of, you know, force themselves on you.
Yes.
But you giving up all of you just getting to know the person, and you're speaking all of this, you know, sex to them, they're gonna want it, because men are visual, and then you speaking like that, you're arousing them. And I told her, I said, you should stop talking about that and see how far the relationship go. And she called me a prude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's your introduction to them. So that's what they want. That's you
Exactly.
you cannot keep
Lead with sex.
yeah, you cannot lead with that. You know, there's so much world events or different things you could talk about. Read a book
Read a book.
and
Mhm.
expand on a book. But I told her, I said, you keep doing that, that's the result you're going to get. But going back to the young lady that she was, I think I was in my 20s and she had to be in her late 30s and she'd been going to church all her life, her family, everything. When that happened to her, that broke her. She lost her mind.
Mhm.
That's how she was. I didn't personally know her, but I've seen her going by. And, then I heard that she got married. And then after that happened, the guy left her. She became psychotic
Wow.
because she saved herself and that's not what she envisioned.
Mhm.
And, like I tell Melissa, I said, don't put yourself in predicament. I tell all of them that. And yes, people try to take from you because we hear of stories, but don't put yourself in that predicament.
That's right.
They cannot get to know you, excuse me, your sex before they get to know you. Sometimes you don't even know people's last name, but you having personal conversation with them.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I said you don't even know the man's last name.
And
You
you
don't even know where he lives.
have an
And you talk
intimate
about
conversation.
personal things about yourself.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I feel like that perfectly leads into the next part. The author describes why feminine energy women have to get a commitment before they have sex with a man. Most liberated, sexually active women like Leslie, who slept with Mark and the first night they met, believe they can maintain self centered control over their emotions after sex. What they don't realize is that casual, non contracted sex in a normal woman triggers a bonding that verges on physical addiction. This
Mhm.
is due to a sexually stimulated hormone called oxytocin, which is predominantly in females and which triggers orgasm. Soon the sound of his voice, the look of his face, the touch of his hands, even the smell of his cologne become intensely associated with the addictive pleasure of the oxytocin brings and keeps her bonded to him, even after they separate. You know the story. On the first date, he was passable. On the second, he was okay. Then you had great sex, and now you can't stand the thought of him ever leaving your side. Your body tells you you're in love, even though your brain is saying he's all wrong for you. What's going on? It's not love, it's oxytocin. Essentially, feminine women bond through sex, but masculine men don't. They bond through commitments they make and keep. They are men who do bond through sex. They are predominantly feminine men who are more right lobe, feeling oriented, or they're older men whose testosterone is diminishing, left handed men who have more access to their feelings neurologically, and men who were raised predominantly by women and who have learned about feelings, feeling centered living from them.
I'm gonna get down. Al, you could come back up. I'm sorry that
Yes, that was
come right back up.
that was Trenya. Come back up, Trenya. All right, thanks, B.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Um all right, y'all. So what do you guys think about what the author says? So basically what we're do we agree with what the author says? And I believe that's pretty much what I stated
Yeah.
before. Yeah. So with that being said, when you are dating younger, and I think a lot of the here's Al. What she said, that is because you made a covenant with him. All that the author is saying is physical. Sex isn't always a physical act. We're in the emotions. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
You'll hear me coughing a bit. The pollen's going up, and this season I decided I'm just gonna go through it, and I'm gonna gain immunity. So
yes,
with me here.
yes. So go ahead.
Oh yeah, so like especially part of the reason too, because I kept certain excerpts in there in case I thought the conversation was going that way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's the reason. Like it made sense with what my mom was saying earlier about the girl who lost her mind, and I was like, listen, that's wild, because I've had, I wouldn't have thought, because in my head, as a, for example, right, the word says, "Be as wise as a serpent, but as gentle as a dove." For me, I feel like I have to learn how to be serpent sometimes, because in my mind, it always kind of goes towards like the best case scenario. So it's good to get different perspectives because I get to see it from all different angles.
Right. And you're just gonna have to be type in can be hard. So okay, she's talking to them. So you have to be just very wise. And like I stated, you're just and listen to what your senses are telling you, because we have a sixth sense, and and we need to go with it. A lot of times there are many red flags. There are red flags, but but once you're intimate with someone, just like Al stated, you're dealing with emotions then. So regardless of the red flag that you have seen and that you are aware of, you stay in situations. And so you just have to and then even like if someone begins to treat you badly or whatever, those, because you have these internal feelings, or you think you can change him, or he will see the best in you and he will change and all the other stuff. None of that's going to happen. But you just need to be able to think clearly and know that everyone is not as pure and as innocent as they may portray themselves to be. Because people, when you first meet them, I always say the first 90 days is when you're going to get the best. You're going to get the bells and the whistles or whatever. But the 91st day, the things start to deteriorate, because no one can put on a persona like that. They can't keep up with the act. So then you really begin to see how people are. So if someone is really interested in you and you know what you want, you have your standards or whatever, after that time, everything is definitely going to begin to change. I mean, you would definitely be able to see their true colors.
And I guess like a little bit later on, we can move on. So the next one, the author shares how to require a commitment and not demand one. That by waiting until a man asks you for sex and then stating your negative feelings about casual sex, it is then up to him about whether he feels like this woman costs too much for me and go off to the next girl who's willing to give him a better deal, or he may drop anchor to get to know you more along the process of along the process of the non-sexual relationship. This part is where he starts to fall in love. Men fall in love slower because falling in love is really dangerous. When he does this, he puts his mind, body, heart, and soul and money into his commitment. A man doesn't usually risk falling in love more than once in his life, because when he falls totally in love, he could risk his life and career. And if his relationship fails, he could lose confidence in himself in all facets of life, including business. He will then usually distrust women to such a degree that he will swear never to fall in love again. This kind of man uses women for gratification. A masculine male may even attempt to test you in your commitment to only have sex with a commitment. He knows deep inside that the woman he cannot get into bed with only a little push cannot be trusted as a virtuous, ideal woman to marry and grow old with. He knows that her sense of self-worth is so shaky that she can be easily manipulated and used, which in turn causes him to feel disgust or guilt, or he knows she is attempting to control him through seductive giving. And I felt like those words were so pointed. I was like, this is something that people are either going to completely agree with or completely not agree with. I thought it'd be a really good conversational piece.
I do agree. Al says that's his loss. Bye. She said bye.
Bye.
Exactly. And because they're gonna try you. They're gonna try you, but you do have to know where you stand on things, and you need to also verbalize where you stand on things. You know, yes, no, I don't want to. No, I'm not going to, or whatever. And the fact that you say no, because sometimes men have problems with no. So, you know, you just need to stand firm on how you feel about that and the relationship. And you also, you know, like Al said, I don't buy into him deciding or whatever. Once again, like I stated, we are really the ones who makes the decision about how far we're going to go. Now, after that, then he might have a little bit of, you know, say so about certain things, but still, I'm still running the show. And even after you're intimate with somebody, they can change, and so can you. Things can change, but it was something that you said in the beginning of that paragraph, and I was like, I need to start writing things down. I need to start writing like points, because this 52 and 3 days, we're not working well. It was something that you stated in that in the beginning of that paragraph. It was like
a man dropping anchor and how falling in love is dangerous for a man.
It was before that. When you first started off the paragraph.
Oh, like a man deciding that she might be too much, that she might cost too much to him?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because you know, we know that men like challenges. So I think if anything is like really easy for a guy, and they lose interest. What is he, you know, there's nothing else for him to conquer. He's seen everything, you display everything. So there is no challenge there anymore. But I do believe that there is a way to say what you want, mean what you say, and still be alluring. And that means still, you know, just because you don't have to be intimate with someone to capture their brain. You know, there could be certain things that you do, like Al said last week. She said when she put that walk on, oh, it's on. It's on. And he want to know what there's some jelly come with that jam. Well, how was that? That little old saying they say is there some jelly with that shake or whatever it is. But that's an old time thing. But they're intrigued. So there is a way to be very like alluring or have sex appeal. And I think a lot of times people, they kind of mix that up. You can have sex appeal and being sexy, and they get that up with being kind of like slutty. Right?
Okay, so how do you present your sex appeal then?
You know what? We talked about this last week. I don't know when I turned it on. Your mom said I'm a flirt. Everybody else says I'm a flirt. I don't know. I don't know.
You know what? I said I would pay attention this weekend. Let me see if I can go back over it.
But see, there was no men around. There were no. Yeah. So So you wouldn't have seen it. But I don't know. Your mom said she said I transform. Don't know. I don't know. But there are like I don't know, because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know when I do it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, honestly,
Al said fries come with that shake. Exactly.
That shake?
The fries come with that shake. Yes. Yeah. So there are certain things, so you know, that you can capture his mind, because it's all in their head. You know, everything with the, like, if you well, you don't know, but a guy who like if they go to see an exotic dancer, it's all about a fantasy. It's everything that they make up in their head, right? When they look at exotic movies and things, it's all in their head. It's a story that they make in their head. And typically when I believe that when a man sees a woman, he sees her sexually first, because that is how because that's a conquest, and he sees her sexually. It's not until later that he really cares about what she got to say, what's in her head or whatever. That's why I stated that we're in control, because their thing is like trying to bag you, trying to get you home or whatever the case may be. But it's all mental, because they're mentally thinking about doing this to you, or doing you being a notch on their wall, a door, or in a black book, or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, we're already ahead of them, because we're not thinking about that, right? But later on, so if you can just capture his mind with other things. And I think when your mom was on here and she was talking about the young lady who leads with sex, because she didn't know what else she had. She didn't know what else she had, but she knew that is what would have caught his attention, right? Mm-hmm. But then you get mad. You have women who get mad because that's all the guy seemed like, that's all he interested in, but that's all you presented.
Yeah, I heard somebody say, he was like, if you're fishing with
Trenya, hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you? Hold on one second.
Hi. How y'all doing?
Good. Wait. Turn your volume down.
Okay. Wait a minute. I was having some issues with this technical stuff, girl.
Oh, it's okay.
But Wani, first thing I want to say, I've been following you for a long time backstage. I've been following you a long time backstage.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad you're coming up.
Hi, Melissa. Hi, Melissa. But listen, I don't want to be seen right now because I'm a nurse. I work overnight.
Okay. Okay.
So, but listen, I'm sitting back in the cut. I've been dating this guy for 12 years.
Oh my goodness.
12 years. I got my own house. He got his own house.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see nothing.
You don't see? What you mean?
Nothing.
Don't see? You've been in it 12 years. How do you not see nothing?
Oh, girl.
She said, girl.
I know. I'm doing, you know why I'm still in it for 12 years? Because it's safe.
I know.
It's safe.
We're going to definitely need you for the next book club reading.
I want to join. I want to join.
For safe. Don't settle for safe. This is going to be the next book.
Yeah, it was for you.
I want to join.
That's ironic that I said that, and that's the name of the next book.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Wait, turn your volume down because we have feedback.
Okay. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm getting familiar with this electronic stuff.
It's okay.
But I'm just tickled to just be a part of it and just chime in. That was me with the pink hand. I was trying to get familiar with this stuff.
Oh, that was
But
you.
Listen, how do I get the book? How do I join the club? And so on and so on and so forth.
Okay.
You laughing, Wani.
I'm going to drop my email in the chat.
Okay.
And if you email me, I'll be able to set you up with the link. I'm going to drop my email in the chat for everyone.
Yes. Okay. But I'm sitting back in the cut listening and learning.
Oh my goodness. You know what though, that's good because we're and that's why we're here, because we're never too old to learn. And I
had a birthday April the 1st, girl. I turned 59.
You go, girl. That's the Aries. Now wait a minute. Trenya.
I've been watching you for years, Wani. You and your girlfriends. I've been watching you for a long time, girl. Long time. I'm talking about some years.
Thank you. But my question is, you're Aries.
Yes, ma'am.
We usually don't tolerate that long.
I know. He's a good, clean-cut guy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But it's just not going to that next level. And I don't know what am I holding on to starting all over, the dating, and it's just a lot going on out there. That's why I just said
Oh my goodness.
safe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just feel safe than to start that dating process all over. I'm a nurse at night. I work at a local hospital, and I know it sounds ridiculous, but safe. I don't know. Maybe I need to go check my damn head, but I don't know.
But you're not happy. 12
In reality, I'm not. In
No.
reality, I'm not.
What's
Can I
this?
get that on Leela?
Hey, Aunt Leela. Al says you haven't found your self-worth yet.
Is that what it is?
Or is it that you are just because you know you have the power. You have the power to stay. Well now I think you kind of set like a precedence because he's comfortable.
He's comfortable, and I hate to say it, damn it, I'm comfortable with nothing. Comfortable with nothing.
I feel like that's why, like, okay, so I said before that I've been in 2 relationships.
I love you, Wani.
Oh, it's a girl. I love y'all too, because you know what? I have like friends who, and I'm gonna try to get some of my girlfriends on here to get like some of their perspectives also, because they can be able to tell you like dating over 50, over 40, 49, whatever. And believe me, they have some stories. But
I'm sure I can tell you some stories too, but I know this ain't the platform for all my nonsense.
But that's okay. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. What were you saying?
Okay.
Liz?
Oh, I was saying that, you know, I talked about the fact that like I've been in like two relationships, and both of them were about a year and some change. And I know like after that one, I was like, after the last one, I was like, nah. Because for me, like the whole girlfriend thing, I was like, what in the mind warp? Like I decided after that, I'm not being anybody's girlfriend anymore. Because it's like girlfriend for me, it's like, I know I like you enough to not want anybody else to have access to you, but I'm not sure that I want to make a commitment here. So I'm going to keep you in this limbo. Because it's like, you can't claim a boyfriend on your taxes.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like in my mind, for me, especially after that last one, I was like, that don't even make any sense anymore. Because in my mind, right, we can be friends. Like I'm cool being friends as long as you want to be friends. So continue to get to know each other, have fun, all that jazz. But being real, nobody's gonna get something from me while we're dating like while we're like being friends that they wouldn't be able to get if we were boyfriend and girlfriend. Because like, we're just hanging out as friends.
Right, but I think when you are there's a difference, because once again I stated that you need to date, and I stated that you need to date several people at the same time. So just because so yes, you go out and you but you're not dating them as you're dating them as friends, but not really. You're dating for companionship also, because some people will just stay friends, period. But there are going to be some people who you're going to see more into than the others. And so, you're going to have to kind of decipher how you want to move further with that. And once again, you got to go by what he's saying and how he's moving. Now, if what he's saying isn't jiving with how you feeling or whatever, then that's not going to work, because you don't want to compromise your feelings and yourself to be what somebody else wants you to be, because then you're gonna be unhappy, and it's gonna fade. Then you're gonna start being resentful.
Yeah, the book says it.
I think that Trenya, when we start on with this book, Melissa did you put the link down?
I put my email address in there, and if you email me, I'll be able to give you the link to it.
Okay. Yes, and then the next one, when we're almost done with this one, we're gonna do this other one. Don't settle for safe, and
that's deep. How I said that word, I just feel safe. Yeah, and that's the name of the next book. Wow.
Yes, and I think that we all do it and and even like people always, sometimes people think that like when you're married, everything is roses, and but then even in a marriage, you can settle for safe. You're doing the same old thing. There's nothing new that you might be adding to it, and you just do it because it just becomes a routine. And that's probably what your guy is. Your name is Trenia.
Yes, it is. That's correct.
Okay. Yeah, because he's a routine to you. You know how his mannerisms.
Yeah.
My
and I work. Good.
So, did you ever want to be married?
I think I do. Yes.
Were you ever married before?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No,
so
ma'am.
You do want to be married?
Sure.
She said, sure.
Not necessarily for the bells and whistles. I already do the cooking. And like I told you, he got his own place. I got my own place. I mean, some of the bells and whistles is already there. What's that old saying they used to say back in the day? Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free?
Uh-huh.
How about that? Yeah. I think I'm gonna lay the laws or just tell him what I'm thinking and feeling. And then if he can't accept it, then maybe we might fall off. Maybe, who knows?
And if so, you have to be okay with that, because I honestly,
and I think so.
Yeah, I had to tell Mr. B that, because he did not want to. He was on some 5-year thing, and he was like, yeah, we'll get married in 5 years, and I'm like, 5 years? It doesn't take anybody that long to know if you want to be with somebody. I think like 3 the max. And
I've gotten 2 rings out of him, big diamond bracelets, is all that material stuff. He was giving me the ring, but that's where it stopped at. No more talks about the next phase.
But you didn't move forward either.
No, ma'am.
So there was something there's something there that
stopped me from going to the next level.
Yeah.
There's something there that stopped you.
Yes, ma'am. I got it, and I feel it, and I think I know too. I just might not be ready to share right now, but I got you.
I understand.
Yeah.
But you know what? But we got you back though.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah. When can I get the book at? I want to get the book in advance, because I read my tail off.
Oh,
so what's
Amazon?
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold the book up one more time, Wani, so I know what the cover look like.
It's this one. It's by Sarah Jakes and Sarah Jakes Roberts, and it's Don't Settle for Safe.
Oh, that's TD Jakes' daughter.
Yeah.
All right now.
Now I'm gonna expect you here at the book club, and give your insight on it, and and I will be great. Everybody can like share like their.
I'm gonna order it tonight when I get finished talking with y'all. I'm gonna order it tonight.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So now we have Stephanie on here. Hey, Stephanie.
Hey, ladies. Hey.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi. What I wanted to say was this about, one of you said about dating more than one person. And I agree with that. When you're younger, to date more than one person, so you can figure out what you want. And don't settle for the first one to smile in your face and give you a ring. You have to figure out what you want, what you won't put up with. Because when I was dating, I ran into some fools and beyond fools and real stupid fools. Yeah, I met them all when I was dating. And when I was dating one guy, it was going on 2.5 years. And I said, okay, what are we? And he said, we just kicking it. I said, oh, okay. So we came back from dinner, and I got out the car to go in the house, and I was shutting the door. He said, wait a minute. I said, for what? He said, I'm coming. I said, no, I don't have time for just kicking it. So you go find somebody you can kick it with. And I shut the door and I locked it. Well, when I met my husband and we started dating him after about 4 months or so, I said, what are your intentions? And he looked at me. But after he came back and said, I want us to be in a committed relationship, then we continued to date for about a year before he proposed.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy that I kicked to the curb came to me and said he was ready for a committed relationship and he wanted to be with me. And I told him,
After the fact,
it is too late. I've already met someone and they stepped up to the plate when you let the plate go.
Mm-hmm.
But then he started telling me what he could give me and what he could do and blah, blah, blah. But you had that chance to do that. But once I moved on and didn't come back and call you and say, come back, now you in your feelings, you feel some type of way.
Right.
But you have to date more than one when you're younger to figure out what you want. Like I tell my daughter, she's dating 2 guys right now. It's because she's seeing which one is the fool and which one is boo-boo. So she's dating 2 guys, and she told me one of them the other day that he did something that let her see what his true self is. And so she cut him loose. And so I told her that's the way you have to be. You cannot sit there and feel safe because this man is seeing you. But then in the back of your mind, you're saying, I can't stand this. I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't like this. But you're still putting up with a lot of stuff just to say you have a man in your life.
Right.
You have to be sure what you want.
I had a similar experience before I was with Mr. B. We had, I don't know how long, maybe we hadn't been dating that long. And my ex called me back and did the same thing. I missed you. I was such a fool. I shouldn't have done this and whatever.
Yeah.
And I want us to try again. And I was like, no, because now I'm seeing somebody else. He had the audacity to give me an ultimatum. I was like, are you stupid?
What? Really?
He gave me an ultimatum. Like I did something wrong.
Wow.
You give somebody you're not actively in a relationship with.
Thank you.
Yes.
He was like,
he thought that mind game was working. He thought he had that control where he could flip your mind by giving you the ultimatum.
Yes, he did. He was like, well, I'm gonna let you date him. He said he gonna let me date him for a couple of weeks, and then he was gonna call me back to see if I had changed my mind. I was like, you don't have to do all that. I'm like, it's oh, you didn't appreciate me when I was there then,
right?
And we're not going back. You didn't understand why I was the way I was, and all this other stuff. And everything I did, he always thought it was a motive. And I was like, that's because of the type of people who you dealt with prior to me. I do things just because I want to, just because there was nothing leading up. I had no malicious thought I was trying to trap you or anything, but it was too late.
Right.
He told me that I was never happy. I was never satisfied with what he did.
And I said, no, it wasn't the point that I was never satisfied. It's that you never put the effort to show me that's what you really wanted to do. You can suggest to me that you want to go and paint the wall and talk about it all week. But if you don't go get the paint and the brush, you're not doing anything.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
And he kept talking about what he wanted and talking that he was gonna, but that gonna led into a year, and that's still gonna led into 6 more months. No.
Yeah.
Have mercy.
You got out. You got out.
Yes, I did. I should have got out
before then, but I didn't.
I wonder. I guess it's one of those third time strikes out, like baseball. You say you don't do it, and you don't do it 3 times, you out of here.
Yes.
Exactly. Well, I want to thank you, ladies, for joining us. I'm gonna let you down. You guys keep listening, and we're gonna have somebody else come up.
Come on. Okay. All right. So long. Right.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yes. So long.
Yeah, they were great.
For real. I love the personal testimonies.
Yes.
I felt like in my mind, whenever I hear a story, I transport myself there, and I'd be like,
See, your aunties got you, girl. We telling you all of our freaking disastrous stories. So when somebody come to you and they thinking they're about to run game, you were like, oh, I heard that one before.
I'd be like, go see episode 3 of the book club.
Exactly. Go ahead with the next question.
So we're whoa, trying to take me out. We're on chapter 11, how to get what you need from a man without ever having to ask for it. And I remember when she wrote that, I was like, lady, these are big claims you're making here.
Okay,
how to get
real.
without having to ask for it. I was like, people pay for that.
Yeah, really, because I haven't mastered that one yet because I have to put it out there.
The author gives direction. 1 second. Whoa, these allergies are trying to kill me. All right. The author gives direction on how women should speak to their men in order to get what they want without ever having to ask for it. She speaks about how to ask for what you want, how to say no to what you don't want without becoming emotional, and how to negotiate with the man in your life so that you can hear what he wants and doesn't want. So the first excerpt that I chose is this. If you choose to be the feminine energy, you get what you want by not directly asking for it, because a direct request may feel like a demand or an order to a masculine man. Even if you don't mean it that way, you tell him how his actions and the situation makes you feel, either negatively or positively. Masculine men can hear an opportunity to please a woman, but they resist women who seem to issue commands. Masculine men pride themselves on their freedom to act, to choose, and to control their own destinies. They enjoy giving to feminine women and making them happy, as long as this is not assumed, expected, or demanded. And an important thing to remember if you choose to be the feminine energy is to never tell a negative feeling to your masculine male unless you are willing to follow his requested solution or give your solution and ask his thoughts on it. It is frustrating for him to hear a problem and not being able to solve it.
Okay. So my thoughts on this part right here. I do believe that there are ways to get what you want without necessarily asking for it. But all the times that is they don't hear, or they don't. A lot of times you might hear people say that that's because men hear their mothers when we speak. You hear people say that they get that they're, oh goodness, that they're, when they speak to their partner or whoever they're dating, whoever they're dating, that you can subliminally say things or suggest things that, and then they come back, oh, well, I'll do that for you, because then they because they took action on it, they feel like it was their idea. Or you will put something out there and they'll come back, well, I'm gonna do this, or I think we should do this, just because you planted the seed. So that's what we do. We initially plant the seed about things, and then they will go from there. But there's some people who don't. And then that's where you hear like a lot of people frustration, because a lot of the things that I know that I expect, my expectations are from things that I have seen other men do, right? And they may have not necessarily been things that Mr. B knew about, like being in the yard. He grew up in California. They didn't have grass. So he wouldn't know about any of that. I used to get frustrated because I'm like, dude, when you gonna cut the grass? What you gonna do about the grass? But that wasn't a priority to him, because he never had grass. He never saw anybody out there doing lawn stuff.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So my expectations, and based off of what I've seen and what I've seen like men do, my examples of masculine men, what they do, not necessarily how he grew up, and not necessarily what he saw. So although I could plant the seed, now that he's been with me long enough, I can be like, oh, It don't look like the Basins live here. I don't know who live here. And then he was like, oh, I need to get out there and cut that grass, or have to call the lawn guy to come out here and cut the grass. But then he think it's his idea that the grass get cut. What she says,
what's the comment?
Janine, yes, the power of the girl. Oh, and then we saw Al said that's because men hear their mothers when we speak, and I totally agree with that, because he says that all the time. Yes, I put it out there. My husband will go get it, and he says, I knew you needed it. Yes. Then the other thing that I thought about when you were reading, it was an excerpt again, but I do believe that I disagree with what the author said, because I do believe that you need to be comfortable enough and confident enough to say what you want. All the times you can't wait for subliminals and things like that. So you need to say what it is that you want and not be afraid of what his response will be, or if you are or if you are like encroaching on his feelings, because there are a lot of things that has to be said that you can't worry about what feelings are. You just need to know that your views are being heard. So the part about the book that I don't like is that like she supersedes whatever the man wants, and you're supposed to like stifle down your own feelings and thoughts and things like that. I totally just disagree with that. I do believe that you should be able not to be like indignant or anything, but you should state how things make you feel, and you should be able to verbalize what it is that you want. Yes, you should have a voice. Exactly.
I feel like this leads into the next one, which is, as a feminine woman, you should speak from how his decisions make you feel, not to compete logically with the masculine man. But it is important that you do not explain or defend your feelings. If the man in your life asks you to do something you do not want to do, instead of arguing or defending your position, say, I appreciate your idea. However, I don't feel good about it. I don't want to do it, and I won't. Will you accept this?
Yeah, but okay, so if you say all that, why are you leaving? And you're saying I'm not gonna do it. Why are you leaving the outcome out there? Will you accept it? No, because it's something.
Will you accept it? As in, like, do you want to continue this relationship or not?
Well, no, we don't have that. So because I don't agree with something or whatever, don't want to do anything, does not mean that I don't want to continue the relationship. It means that we don't agree on everything and that we need to compromise. So we can't look at like little issues because I don't want to lean left because you want to lean left, and so that's a deal breaker. No, and know that whatever there are many ways to get to the same destination. Your way may not be the best way, or there needs to be another way found to get to the final destination that we're both comfortable in. So little things can't be deal breakers. Don't ask after the statement. Exactly. Don't ask after the statement. You firm in what I don't feel comfortable doing that. I don't agree with that, or whatever the case may be, and I'm not gonna do it. Period. That's just it. That is just it, because you're not asking for permission. You can't no one can give you permission to feel how the way you feel. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's just like, somebody telling you, you said, well, you make me feel, or you make me feel like you belittle me, or you talk down to me or whatever. And they was like, well, no, I don't. You lying about that. How you gonna tell me I'm lying? I'm telling you how I'm feeling. So I disagree with her with that. I don't like the open ended of that, because you're still at the end. She's telling you to allow him to make the final decision based off of how you feel. That I don't agree with that.
Okay. So then in a situation where regardless of what you feel, this is the decision that he's making, then you're just breaking up?
Say that again.
So I guess like I'm just extrapolating based on the situation that was presented, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in this situation, you don't want to do it. He still believes that this is still the right move to make.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's the reason why when I said it initially, I was like, maybe then the relationship just ends, because you have like an immovable object going against an unstoppable force. The only way for them to both coexist is for them to separate at that point.
But it can't be that. But then we didn't need to be together in the beginning. If something, because I disagree with the way you want to do this or whatever the case may be, because at the end, look at it this way. At the end, whatever the issue was, right? Mm-hmm. The decision 9 times out of 10 that they made, they were okay with it because it was comfortable for them, mm-hmm. right? It was, but you stated that you disagreed with it, so it's not comfortable with you. So then that goes back to like, okay, so my feelings superseding yours. It's not about us. It's all about me.
Mm. And I feel like that's where maybe I had a question earlier up that I think definitely applies to this. Then do you think that a lot of these issues can be avoided if you're choosing the right person from the beginning? Because somebody who really cares about you would want you to feel good about the decision that they're making.
But how are you going to know if you're choosing? You don't know if you're choosing the right person from the beginning. No, nobody. Okay, I don't like to say, because I remember someone telling me, saying to me that when I was dating, that I was an option, and I'm like, I ain't nobody's option. I'm a choice. I'm not an option. So if what I am saying to you, you have a choice to, if you don't agree or whatever the case, you have a choice to leave, and it can end. But if something ends just that simple because I disagree, or a disagreement, it wasn't meant to be. And there is no such thing as choosing properly, because a lot of people think they chose the right one because people wear masks, and then they get in a relationship and they turn out to be abusers. They're verbal abuse, they're physical abusers. You know, it's a lot of different things that can happen. So I don't think there is and even, you know, when you're married, because when Mr. B first got married, I remember our first argument. I don't remember what it was about, but I do remember our first argument, and I was like, you know what? I don't think I want to do this. I don't. Matter of fact, I don't want to do this. And he was like, you know what? He was like, I apologize. He said, in our first argument, and he was like, but I still love you. And I was like, yeah, me too. But I don't want to do this arguing, whatever it was, what we were arguing about. I didn't want to do that again. That did not mean that I didn't want to be married again. So we had to come back and figure out figure out whatever the argument was. But we talked about it and figured it through. But all that being said, I never would have thought we would have had that argument. You know what I mean? So did that mean that we, you know, we shouldn't have been together, and I didn't pick properly? That was just a disagreement.
So disagreements doesn't necessarily mean, so okay, I get what you're saying from that perspective, but I think I was looking at it, I guess, just like a little bit differently. Mm-hmm. So like, I guess in my mind, when I was thinking of it, it was more along the lines of something that would be like pivotal, because I guess like not all arguments are pivotal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, it's definitely along a continuum. You know?
Right.
And And then hopefully if during that dating phase you did the right research, you knew that all of your non-negotiables lined up, that you guys weren't crossing over something that you just could not deal with. So then from there you just got to accept it or just decide not to be with that person.
Right. Exactly. And then stick with those non-negotiables. Period. Yeah.
But I wonder, I feel like it reminds me of last week's book club where I think it was Miss Vondessa. She spoke about the situation and everything like that she was experiencing. And it's interesting that, you know, in certain situations, in order to have companionship, although somebody on the surface, you know, that they're, you know, on like that, there's definitely things about that person that you just cannot get with. But, you know, companionship and, you know, and desiring to be with somebody can make you overlook some of those things.
Miss Stacy's here. Hi, Stacy. She said, it's called compromise. Pick your battles. There's no relationship marriage where they totally agree on every single issue. Stepford wives do not exist. Exactly.
Oh, tell me about the Stepford wives.
The Stepford wives, that's like in the the polygamous relationship. Isn't that correct? She said, sorry, y'all. Hello. Stacy, she wants to know about the Stepford wives. You want to go with the next question?
Yeah, for sure. And then this is the last one. The author states that the imperfect phase begins about 60 days into the relationship. At this point, people usually feel comfortable enough with each other to get off their best behavior and in effect become themselves and be themselves. This is when you learn what you already know, but didn't want to admit that nobody's perfect, including your newfound love. The purpose of this relationship phase is to figure out what your negotiable and non-negotiable items are, what you do and do not like about the other person, while you are revealing yourself. You both need to know the whole person, the good, the bad, before you can negotiate a future together. Otherwise, you will be negotiating with only half a person. After you learn about his less than desirable parts, you can either accept him, reject him, or tolerate him. The author does not recommend tolerating him. It is destructive to romance. Narcissists are of either sex tolerate others, imperfections from their place of perfection. Do not try to rebuild your man. Other pieces of advice provided by the author include maintaining your primary role. Like what she means by that is if you start off wanting to be in this feminine energy, stick with that script the entire time. Don't try to change the script then, because then, you know, who are you guys this entire time? Hiding the dark side of you. And that, and then to remember that there's no perfect people. It's another movie? All right, I'll check out a trailer.
Yes. And so I just looked at it, and so it was a movie, and so it said it's based off of a book, and it's generally used as a derogatory term which refers to a submissive, docile wife who seems to conform blindly to the stereotype of an old-fashioned subservient role in relationship to her husband.
Oh, okay. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
It sounds like a horror movie.
It's not. I don't think I've seen it. I've heard of it. I don't think I've seen the movie either. So I will probably have to
catch a trailer or something.
Yeah, really. So
those are the questions that I had.
Huh?
Those are all the questions that I had.
Yes, Janine. No rebuilding of a man. Yes, none of that. None of that.
For her, you either like it or you don't, and if you don't like it, keep it moving.
Yes, and I agree with that. There are things like you said, there are non-negotiables. So things that you don't, that are your non-negotiables, stick with that, and don't curtail them. And I definitely believe that a person, you will have to accept a person as they are. Now, if they are what's this? Stephanie said she's seen it. Yeah, you have to accept the person as they are. And like she said after 6 days. She said 6 days?
No. She said after 60 days.
Oh, I went 90 days. So she took 30 days off. So she thinks after 60 days, a person's really begins to demonstrate or show you who they really are.
So they can't hide anymore.
Yeah, I think it's 90. Yeah.
I'm okay. Tack on an extra 30 just for sure.
Yeah. Yes. So between 60 and 90.
I feel like it's interesting though, because I wonder, and I really, this is an actual genuine question. I wonder if people can really put on that much of a front, or whether we can idealize, because it's interesting. I feel like, yes, some people might be more transparent than others, and some people might not be able to hide it as well, but like bits of who they are come to the surface. And it's just about whether or not you peep the flag, or whether or not you want to peep the flag. Because exactly. I feel like I'd be very confused, but also very nervous if people could really be out here psychopathically, and it's just like you can't detect anything until you're married to them. You know, like I feel like there's like little signs. You know what I'm saying? Like there have to be some signs.
Yeah, there are signs that you will see, but then though, if we have to, because like everybody's not going to be perfect. People are going to see things in you that may get up under their skin or whatever. So there are signs. We all have like things that bother other people, and that may be triggers to other people. But it depends on what type of trigger. But then once again, like I stated, there's some things that even after you're married that you won't find out about a person, because you truly don't know everything about, even things about Mr. B said stuff, and I was like, I didn't know that. Oh, we've been married forever. I didn't know you did that, or I never knew you. I mean, I remember when he told me he used to smoke weed. I said, you what? I never knew you did that. I was like, yes. He was like, yes. I was like, oh my God, all these years, I never knew it.
Now, I want to jump on right quick and tell you about the Stepford Wives.
Yes.
Okay, the Stepford Wives was about a show, and they had their own town. And what the men did in the company, they would find a woman and bring her home to marry. But when she got home, she had to dress like the Beaver's mama, Leave It to Beaver, with the dress, the heels, the pearls, and she had to be made up all the time. And it was like she had no existence in herself. She had to form to whatever he wanted. If he wanted her to be, dressed in a certain way when he came home, she'd be that way. If he wanted the house to be spotless, it would be shining when he got home. Whatever he wanted is what she did. And they were all in the town, and all the women were dressed similar, different hairstyles or whatever, but they were all like mannequins and robots to be like what the husband wanted. If he wanted you to be a vixen in the bed, then that's what you were. If he wanted you to be the best cook in the town at his home, then that's what you were. Whatever he wanted, that's what the wife became to be. But in the movie, one woman got married to him, and she refused to do that. And it was a whole lot of chaos for her to get out of the marriage and get out of that little town that had set up that way.
Whoa, that does sound like a horror movie.
They would have kicked me out of town.
It was cold to see that the women, and if they had children, the children had to act a certain way. They had to be a certain way. The house had to be like, it was just like everything had to be picture perfect. When he came home, you had to meet him at the door with his drink or his house shoes. You take his briefcase, you take off his jacket, you massage his shoulders, you did everything like he was, a servant to this man. And you didn't have a voice about what you wore, how you wore your hair, where you shopped, who your friends were. You had no voice. It was what he wanted, and what he wanted only.
Well,
yes.
Al said, I dated for 5 years, married for 20, and he's still telling me stuff I've never heard. I'm with you.
Yes.
So you never know.
You never know everything.
No, because if I would have met Mr. B while he was smoking weed, I wouldn't have dated him.
Exactly.
I wouldn't, because I never did. But I did date someone, and he smoked a lot of weed. I didn't like it.
I didn't.
It was a turn off to me, and to see that he would it was like before he did anything, when he got paid, he went to the weed man. That was not a good look. Did not like it. Red flag. Didn't work.
No, that's not and I think I dated a guy that thought his car was more important than anything. If anything, he spent his money on his car, and we would go to McDonald's, but he'd go get some new rims. But then the time come, we going to Sonic. No. Yeah. So I told him I wish I'll give him in his relationship with his car all the best.
Okay.
Oh.
Yes.
I know pronounce you man and car. You got it.
Yes.
Stacy says, do we really not know, or did we just not pay attention? Oh. A
lot of people don't pay attention. You see the flags, but you try to overlook them and think that you can change that person.
Yes.
And then you end up with a bigger mess than what you started off with.
Exactly. Or he will see this in me, and because of this in me, that's gonna make him change. Girl, no. It never works out.
Do you think it's because a lot of people aren't dating with intention?
With intention of what?
Like that people aren't dating with intention. Because
no, they're not.
So it's like people just like, okay, we're going to get together, just see how things go. And then you wake up and then like years have gone by. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when I was first working at like Starbucks, right? Like there were women who were working there who are older. And it's like in my mind, I was thinking, you know, except for people who knew that they wanted to make Starbucks their career, I was like, how do you end up spending this much time there? And it was like, because they didn't have a vision in mind of what they saw themselves doing next. And then time passed and now they're just still there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like regardless of whatever anybody chooses, my personal definition of success is when somebody's doing something that they want to do because they want to do it. So if somebody is doing any job, let's say somebody's a plumber or like they clean chimneys or something like that. Is that if that is genuinely in their heart, I wake up every day and I'm happy doing it, you are a success, right?
Right.
Now, I do believe that there's certain situations where people just kind of settle into where they are and didn't actually choose it. And so
because you're comfortable.
Because you're comfortable. And
it's a safety net.
Exactly. And that's the reason why that previous comment by Miss Stacy made sense. It's like, did you really not see it, or was it too inconvenient for you to be single? So you just kind of stayed where you were.
Well, a lot of people they may see it, but they quote unquote don't want to be alone. So just having a person with them, male or female, that's all that matters, is they can say, I got a man or I have a woman, but that's really not what you want. Right. The person you want. You just want a body next to you.
And yes, partially, but it could be also like our sister Trenia, who was on here, and it was like she was comfortable because she didn't know what else was out there. She know what she got at home. She know that monster. She can navigate around it, but she don't know what else is out there. Is it worse than what she has at home? Is it better? But the thing about it is, you won't know until
you get out.
You try.
Until you're out there, and but the good thing is, now this is a plus, is that they're in two different places.
Yes.
So when she don't want to be bothered, she can go to her house, and when he don't want to be bothered, he can go to his. So that's a good thing, because they're not together, and so you don't have to be in a situation all the time. Right. But if that's not the situation that you want to be in and you would like to be together. And like she said, she kind of knows the reason why she hasn't, pushed it, because if he's proposed 2 times and given her 2 different rings, after that it's really on her, because then, he follows her lead with her. Here she comes. Here she comes. She said, "Okay, y'all talking about me." Yeah, so just like I was saying, he's gonna follow her lead, because then she start out of planning. But then in their head, don't think they have to do is really, show up, whatever the case may be. But like she said, she knows her reason. So
true.
It's the reason why she hadn't started the planning.
True.
And so, so yeah.
True.
What you come on here to you come on here, you're like, okay, sis, you talking about me.
No, No, I was just listening. I told you I'm listening, but everything y'all saying, y'all on point. Y'all on point. Everything. Everything. Janie Taylor, you on point, baby. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yes.
I'm just sitting in the cut.
Yes. So Stacy said some marriages are convenient or even business arrangement, and they are comfortable. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
Society makes it so uncomfortable for people to be single, because it's like, you think about it, like you go to these events, you're out with people, and then it's just like, so why are you single? And I'm like, what?
Because I choose to be.
You get what I'm saying? I feel like because we put such an emphasis on people being married, that like people treat singleness like a disease. Like, I have to get rid of it.
Who's that?
Turn off your YouTube. Turn off your YouTube.
Because there's a difference between being lonely and being alone.
And being alone. You're so right.
I'm alone.
You're so right.
Like, I've learned how to be able to have fun by myself.
Yes.
Yes.
Do I desire to one day be married and have a family? Yeah. But until I get there, I'm not about to be all, where is he? Where is he? You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
My life.
Now I'm gonna tell you a funny story. I went out on a date. I met a guy online, and we went out on a date. After we ate dinner, he pulled up. Well, before we went to dinner, he pulled up at a motel. And I said, "Oh, who stay here?" And he says, "How you perform here will in turn where we go for dinner."
Oh.
And I said, "Well, you might as well take me home, because I don't perform for a meal." So he reaches across me and pushed the door open and said, "Get out." I had no problem. I did not know where in the world I was. It was dark. I didn't know where I was. So my crazy behind, I got out the car, because you're not finna make me do nothing I don't want to do. He speeds off. Well, the manager of the motel walks out to me and he said, "I'm sick of him doing that. Do you need a ride home?" Yes. He said, "Do you need a ride home?" And I said, "I don't even know where I am." He said, "Let me call my brother. My brother-in-law drives a cab." He called his brother-in-law. His brother came, picked me up. As we were pulling off, I saw the car coming back to the motel. What he does was he put the women out. And when they refuse to do what he wants and he comes back, well, they'll go sleep with him to go out to dinner because they need a way home. But I got in a taxi, and the manager told his brother-in-law, whatever her bill is, I'll pay it. So he took me home. The taxi cab driver did. That night, after I had left, that guy called my house looking for me. And my kids kept telling him, "Mama's out on a date. She's not home." But I was sitting right there. So that next morning was Sunday morning. We were leaving to go to church. He pulls up still in the same clothes he had on that night. Telling me, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. You're not the type of woman I thought you were. I prejudged you. Can we try it again?" I said no, because I see what type of man you are.
You have that in you. What?
I can't believe he came back to the house.
Girl, if you'd have seen, he was sweating. He was looking for me. He said he thought something had happened because I wasn't at the hotel when he came back. And the manager told him the manager told him I took off walking. So he was scared something had happened to me.
I have a heart later. You can't be a psychopath and try and have a heart later.
No, you're not going to drop me there and then come and try to play on them strings. I made a mistake. You're not that type of woman and blah, blah, blah. No, you showed me what type of man you are. So therefore, there was no need for you to come into my house looking for me because I do not care to see you, talk to you, anything with you because the type of man you showed me you are.
Yes. It's interesting. He said, because I thought you were that type of woman.
Yes.
What type of woman if he thinks
he thought I was going to be weak when he came back to the hotel, that I was going to be, because I'm stranded, I don't know where I am. So that all I can get home is sleep with you for him to be able to take me home. No, I'm not going to give myself up to you for a meal.
Yes.
Yeah. The way you perform in here determines where we go for dinner. It could be McDonald's or it could be Perry's. But how you perform says where we go. No.
Janie said, well, damn.
Okay, she said, well, damn. Where you meet?
Yeah.
I met that fool online. I was on a dating app for a while. My daughter and my son put me on a dating app because they were saying, Mama, we finna leave home soon. And we don't want you to be alone. We want you to start dating. So I started dating guys that I would, kind of feel for and talk to agree to go out. We had to be talking on the phone for a minute before I agreed to go out with them. And see, I met my husband online. And when I met him, he told me that he was getting ready to go out of town for his job and that he'll be back in town in a week. Can we go out then? And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. I ain't gonna hear from that man again. He a joke. He a joke. That's all I kept saying. And then when he came back in town the next week, he called me and said, can we go out to lunch today? And I'm like, for real?
He said, for real?
And he was like, yeah, we can meet over here on my lunch break from work. I'll meet you here. We can eat lunch and get to know each other a little bit and then, go from there. Well, in my mind, I'm saying, please don't let him be shorter than me. Please don't let him be shorter than me.
Oh my.
Please. When he come up, he was shorter than me.
He was.
And I was like, damn, he's shorter than me. That's what I'm saying in my head, right? But while we ate lunch, what made me want to see him more was his conversation and the fact that he was not talking to my chest. He was looking me in my eyes and talking to me. The whole conversation. It wasn't like most dates where they would talk to my chest the whole conversation. And that's what made me want to see him again. And then the next time we talked on the phone till 4:00 in the morning. And from that day, we've been together.
Wow.
You see that? Man.
We've been together. We celebrated 10 years of being together last Saturday. This past Saturday, we were together 10 years, period. But we'll be married 8 years in July.
Wow.
See, that's something. That doggone online thing. And that's why I always say, I wouldn't know how to date now.
That's why I dated online. But I never brought him home. I only, if I didn't feel really comfortable, I met him at the mall or something like that. I wouldn't let them come to my house because my fear was, what if I met a fool that liked little girls or little boys and I got one of each at home? Then that means I'm going to the penitentiary for murder.
Janine wants to know, is this the same guy? No, I don't think she didn't marry.
No, I didn't marry the fool.
No, she didn't marry the fool. Yeah. She
did not. I did not marry the one who put me out the hotel. No, ma'am.
so Trina and I,
yes.
we would be in the same boat because we don't know how to date now because you've been with your person how you say 17 years?
Do you 12 for me?
Oh, 12 years. So yeah, we wouldn't know how to do it.
But you know what?
What?
I think deep down inside, I am ready and willing to date a mature man that has an income and don't mind, going, doing, and spending.
Yes.
Because I am a spender.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a spender.
Your guy, is he a spender or no?
Pick and choose. It's like that half all the time. All the time. You know, don't matter what. Half.
Oh, half.
I just pick the check up. I just pick the check up. I put it on my card, whatever.
Yeah. You can, yeah. It's okay. Sometimes, you know, you might do something and, you know, I'll pick it up or whatever. But no, but if that's the first thing you want to holler half, yeah. Because once again, you don't feel like he's not taking care of you. That's not taking care of you. If I'm paying half, that's just us. We're going Dutch on the relationship
forever.
Yeah. So can you really take care of me? Can you really be a provider?
I think I am the breadwinner in this relationship. Is that me making a noise?
Yeah, turn your YouTube down in the back.
How do you do that? I got you on my TV.
Oh,
and on the phone.
Turn me off on the.
Oh, to put the TV on mute.
Yeah, put the TV on mute. Yes.
Okay. There we go.
But it doesn't matter that you're the breadwinner because he still should be able to do something.
And he have an income. He is. Wait a minute. Men are just cheap. Not every man. Let's clear that up. He buy the things he want to buy. Like I told you, the jewelry and clothes and that kind of stuff. And he likes to dress up and dance. He's a dancer. He likes to do all those dances. I'm a bop and a cha-cha person. He likes the lamb dance and just that stuff. I'm working my 12-hour shift and this joker trying to figure out the next cabaret to go to.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry. we need some real time out. But Ronnie, I gotta say this one more time. Every chance I get, I've been following you ever since you used to go to Pier 1 while you be at work on your break.
Oh my goodness! When Pier 1 went out of business, my heart just crashed.
I know it did.
I used to do some serious lunchtime trouble. Oh my goodness!
I used to crack up, but I keep on watching.
Oh my goodness!
I didn't know you used to just, let me go to Pier 1 real quick.
Oh my gosh, girl! I would leave. I could not work. I would see something. I was like, oh my goodness, I need to go to Pier 1. I need to make it there in an hour.
One time, Wayne was looking for some napkin ring holders or something. He was like, anybody got a Pier 1 in your neighborhood?
Oh my God.
I'll pay for it. Don't worry.
I got you.
Send it to me.
The real question is, did somebody hook you up though?
Oh no.
Girl, I don't know. You know how many napkin rings I have? I don't know.
You keep me crying, laughing.
Oh my goodness. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad that I entertained you.
Inspired me to do it.
Yeah.
If I was dressed, I got a lot of stuff from you over the years, but I never thought that I would have the opportunity to tell you this.
Oh my God.
But when I seen you was going live, that was my ample time to jump in.
Oh my goodness. That is so funny. Well, that's good to know that I have been in your pockets.
Yes. Yes. I be at work telling people about you, but girl, this woman right here, check her out. Check her out. She was decorating and carrying on.
A girl.
Decorating and carrying.
Not to take away from the show, but carry on.
The girl, yes. I do. I do. Yeah, I have a problem. I have a slight problem. Mr. B was like, if you bring another plate, because I don't have nowhere to put them, so I'm gonna get rid of some of them because I saw some new plates, but I don't have no more hiding places. None.
Oh, Lord.
That or get a bigger house.
And you know that has been on my list, right? That has definitely been on the list. I'm like, wow. I was talking about it again to somebody today about another house. Mr. B claims I want another house because I want to get more dishes. I'm like, that's not true.
Listen down the bottom. I never try online dating. Me either, but I'm willing to try it. I'm willing to try it.
You
would try? They got to be mature. Dating? They got to be mature.
I just don't know. I don't know. Well, we're gonna see if you whatever your decision is gonna be, because then we're gonna be going on dates with you. Then you're gonna come back and let us know how the dates were, what happened.
Right.
Don't be surprised though to get the weirdest things. I remember there was this one guy's dating profile that I had to like I literally screen recorded it because I thought it was hilarious. This man is legitimately in the penitentiary on a dating app.
What?
He in jail.
He was in the penitentiary?
He's in the penitentiary.
How in the world is that possible?
I'm not about to put him out there, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want no problems.
Yes.
But,
I know that's right.
Listen, you know what I'm saying? Gotta be smart about it. But essentially, he puts in his dating profile that, you know, he's looking for a friend.
Build the she shed.
He's looking for a friend, somebody that's gonna hold him down while he in prison, and that, you know, he ain't no trick, you know, person. So, you know, he ain't paying nobody to talk to him. And, you know, we gonna be friends, and that's just gonna be what it is. So if you with it, you know, swipe right. If you're not, keep it moving. According to him, he smokes often. And then he just really got pictures of himself wearing jewelry in jail.
That follows right back to the safe spot. Everybody got that wall up. They lying about who they are. Oh gosh. They lying about where they work at. You know, they just liars. That's why I fall back on that safe.
Yes.
But I know I need more than safe.
But let me tell you this. I have, like I stated, I have a lot of my girlfriends who are they're not married. They're single. But I have several of them who dated online. And two of the now they ran into some frogs, like I stated, but two of my girlfriends, oh my goodness, it's the second time around getting married or whatever, they have really upgraded. That's what I'll say. They have upgraded because who they married is definitely not the same person who they dated right now. You know what I mean? So they may have gotten married early on, like in college or whatever, and then, you know, got divorced. But their new person who they're with, like one of my girlfriends, the guy who she's dating now they've been dating for 3 years. He's an engineer. He came. He put her floors down because he like working with his hands and building things. He built her deck. She got a jacuzzi out there. He just came in and just started doing so. He saw things that she needed done in her house, and he was he wanted to do it. The other one, but before she got to him, she dated a gynecologist. She couldn't get with the gynecologist. She liked him, but she couldn't get over the past of his job.
Does her name begin with a D?
No.
Oh.
Yep. But she couldn't get over the fact of what his job was. He was nice. He did anything for her, whatever. But she couldn't get over the job. She was like,
what do you think about male gynecologists then?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I wouldn't care. But she just could not. She was like, I can't get over the fact that he look at women part all day.
Really?
I heard somebody else say that it's weird for a man to be a gynecologist, but I wonder, do they just get to a point where it's just kind of like being a mechanic?
Everything looked the same until it don't.
That's right. Me being a nurse, and when we had COVID, I never nursed like that before. I've never seen nothing like that before.
Oh, like COVID?
Every day, yes. Every day I went to work, it was 6, 7, 10 deaths, young and old. I've never seen nothing like it.
That I know, and that can definitely mess up your
scar
head.
you.
Yes,
Thank
definitely.
you for your service, though. Thank you for showing up and
yes, definitely.
People did not want to be there, you know. So thank you for showing up every single day and doing what
and putting herself at risk.
You're putting yourself.
I had it. I caught it twice.
Oh my God.
One time I had it. Me and him had just came back from a cruise. They wasn't calling it COVID.
Were you stuck on one of them boats that they wouldn't let come back on?
No, but listen, I had just made it in, and all the boats after us was stuck, and I freaked out. I mean, freaked out. I always thought I was going crazy. Like you were just talking about that girl went crazy back there. Yeah, I thought I was going crazy. Truly.
Oh my gosh.
That thing was spooky. Yes. I don't even think we could have wrote this in a manual if we a story if we wanted to.
No, we
couldn't make it up.
Definitely couldn't have.
No, that thing was super crazy.
And then for you,
I'm just reminiscing now.
When you there with it and you seeing it, it's one thing to see it
on
on television, to read
yeah.
about it. But when you there and you're in the midst of it and you see it all, it's like people coding back to back. Oh my goodness, I could not imagine.
You know what really freaked me out the first time? You doing a code over here and somebody else hollering a code, call a code. So the code team is here. Somebody else calling the code team. You running here, you running there. You ain't got enough help to do the split run. Girl, that thing was goofy. Goofy. I swear to God, I've never seen nothing like it. Ever. And I watch a lot of Lifetime. Lifetime can't nothing on that.
Lifetime had nothing on that. That was you were real time. You were.
I'm sorry, y'all.
No, not at all. This is good.
Yes, yes.
Thank you for sharing.
Yes, I'm sorry.
No. So, Millie, that was the last question. Oh,
go ahead, Wani. You could take me back off. It's okay.
Oh, well, we're about to get ready to get off anyway. But I'm happy that you came on here, girl.
And thank you for sharing. Thank you for letting her know how you feel. I feel like like so many. I was telling her this week when I spoke to her for her birthday that I feel like so often people wait to try to give people their flowers when they're gone. So thank you for giving her flowers while she's here to receive it. I thought it was just such a display.
I've been following her for a long time. Before COVID.
Oh, you got it.
When she used to do those collaborations with them different ladies.
Yeah.
I used to watch them tablescapes and all that.
Goodness. Oh my God.
Look at her smiling.
You guys, y'all don't know that. And that's how I really appreciate that, because I had to tell my my girlfriends this week, and y'all will hear about it tomorrow, but at the table they wanted me to make a speech. And I just really appreciate you for coming on here and sharing that and letting me know how I make you feel, because I honestly believe that, what that Maya Angelou said, she said, people don't remember what you said or how you said it, but they do remember how you made them feel. And,
Amen.
And the mere fact that you came on here to, just to spend some time with me. And that's the same thing how I felt about them. They all came together. You guys when we were at the spa and I wasn't sure who was actually going to come when I invited them. But if I tell you, they just kept coming through the door, didn't they, Millie? Yes, people just kept coming through the door. And I had something else going on at the time. But when I looked around and saw all of those women who came there because of me, and they just kept coming. And I was like, are you kidding me? And then at dinner, they just kept coming and kept. I was like, this is some mess. But because, you guys came, drop the link for Stephanie. Because you guys, even on here, and you guys still support me on my channel, you guys keep coming, and you came on here. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much, because as much as you guys think that I give to you, you guys really give me more than you ever would know. If I ever had any doubt about how people feel about me, I know now, because y'all showed out. My girls showed out, and you guys continue to show out every week
But
for me.
Wani, one simple question quickly.
Do you want to sing? Do you want to sing, Miss Wani? Happy birthday! This is her birthday month. We haven't sang her happy birthday yet.
Go ahead, start it off.
All right then.
Uh-oh.
Which version you doing? The soul version?
How about this? You kick it off with the soul version, because I get it wrong sometimes. So
what's that? The Stevie Wonder one.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
And this is my favorite part. And many more.
And many more.
Yes.
God willing.
Keep on keeping on, girl.
Yeah.
Because I'm a behind the scenes follower. I don't, say much because I don't feel like y'all answer people when they chime in, because there'd be so many.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But I like the comment down below. The mature men are crazy too. They want to be your daddy.
They want to be your daddy. You see that? Alice funny. Alice, you got to watch out for them. Yes.
Well, what's a good dating site name?
Oh, girl. Who you at?
Dating.
You said what's good?
Facebook.
The dating apps.
Thank you. Oh, Facebook dating?
Yeah, Facebook has dating.
Is that, I don't think I heard about, was Plenty of Fish. They don't do that no more. Well, that's the one they have you sliding left and sliding right.
Okay.
They have Plenty of Fish. They have Black People Meet. And it's another one called Tagged. That's where I met my husband on Tag.
She was like the Black People Meet. That was more like a hookup site.
Yeah, it was.
They didn't like it.
Yeah, it was more like a booty call site.
Yeah. So we need to,
Jesus.
And there is a site called bootycall.com.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. There's a site called
on there?
Yes. It's a site called bootycall.com. Yes,
that
ma'am.
Sound like you just wanted smut.
Yes, exactly.
That's all it was. It's just all they wanted was a booty call.
Oh my goodness.
My power went out a little while, guys. It was raining and the power went off on the computer.
I'm here in Philadelphia.
Oh, I knew you was somewhere up north. I hear the accent.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, I hear it.
Okay.
I was going to ask you where you were from.
Yeah, I'm in Philadelphia.
Okay.
West Philadelphia, born and raised.
All right now.
Yes.
So, I think you think what were you about to say, Trenia?
I don't know. I was going to name a couple people, y'all celebrities y'all know from my hood. Jill Scott.
Oh, I love
Jill Scott.
Yes.
Who else from my hood? What's the Maze? Frankie Beverly.
Frankie Beverly.
Yeah.
Patti LaBelle was right around the corner.
Look at that.
A couple people. A lot of some celebrities. I'm putting Band-Aids on people and they singing.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's awesome though. You're like, hit that tune. Name that tune.
I know that's right.
Yes. So guys, I think we're gonna go ahead and end
wrap
this.
It up.
Yes, we're gonna wrap it up. Mr. Home, he eating, so he eating without me tonight. But he was like, girlfriend, I can't wait on you. I'm hungry.
Wait, before y'all go, when is the next meeting? And when does the book start to read all that?
Our next book club is next Thursday at 7 o'clock.
The last day of the book club that we're doing with this book is going to be the 28th, and then the very next one we can roll into the next book.
So yes, so our last book club for this book is on the 28th.
Okay. Well, it's too late for me to get the book and catch up with you guys.
Yes,
but I will be on the next one.
Yes. So yes, make sure you're here. Well, we'll be here next Thursday. So I would love for you to come back and join us and give us your views on.
Let me ask y'all a question. What y'all got, the paperback or the hardback cover?
I have the paperback. It was like $8, I believe, on Amazon.
Okay. Okay.
Y'all got a little bit more patience than me. I get the book on my phone, and I'll just
I have audio. I have it, and I got it where I can have audio.
Those e-readers, but it's nothing like the paper book.
I know.
I do the audio because while I'm doing stuff and cleaning or whatever, I can put my Bluetooth in my ear and listen to the book as I'm doing stuff.
Yes. And this is on Audible. It is on Audible.
The only thing that I find with audiobooks is that I have a tendency to zone out and I have to keep rewinding it over and over and over again. Like, I can't just kind of like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I was notorious growing up. My mom used to have to come at me because it's like I'd be at like birthday dinners with like the book underneath the table like this, trying to read what's going on.
Oh my!
Just put away the book.
Put away the book. We said your family is from Philadelphia, Melissa.
Yeah, my aunts are in Philly.
Oh
wow!
Okay. I thought they was in Jersey.
I have an aunt over in Mount Airy and another one over.
I know exactly where it's at.
Yeah, and then other ones.
I work at the hospital there, Einstein. Well, it's now Jefferson.
Okay, cool.
That's in Mount Airy.
Well, it's on Broad Street, and that's the next little town over, but it's not far at all.
Okay, cool.
She said the audio books put her to sleep.
She said puts her to sleep. Janine,
well, I normally sit up at night and I'll be listening to an audiobook while I'm doing something in my office, and I can listen to about 3 or 4 chapters sitting in my office on the audiobook. So I get more done because I concentrate better that way, I guess.
That's good. You're gonna teach me. I gotta work on my focus then. Because
that's right.
You know what I found that makes it easier for me to listen to them without zoning off? I'll speed it up. Like, if it's normally read at like a regular pace, I'll speed it up to like 1.5 or like 2 times the speed. So that I don't have time to daydream. Like I have to focus on what's happening.
Well, Melissa, not being fresh or anything, but your skin is glowing. You look very pretty over there.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what? This entire time I was wondering, because I was talking to my brother, and so I have eczema. And so I have to like use like hydrocortisone, just like different things. My face has to be like moisturized. But
you looking good.
One time my brother walked into the house and he made a beeline across the room and just took the side of his shirt and just went like this across my forehead. He was just
my goodness.
He was like, I can see my future from across the room in your forehead.
They're just so
He is so wrong. That was so wrong.
But I think black don't crack. So maybe this is God giving me the moisture.
It is. That's exactly what that is. That is.
Wow.
All right, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up.
I've enjoyed myself, ladies.
I know.
Okay.
Yes, and Stephanie,
good night.
Good night. Stephanie, I will be there next Wednesday for your.
Oh yes, it's the season finale. Is next week,
and I didn't even get the chance to watch the show, so I have to catch up for last week. So
what show is that?
We chat on SWV versus Escape.
Oh, I've been watching that.
You've been
watching? Yeah, we do it on my channel, Creatively Miss Me, on Wednesday nights. We get on there and we talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got to follow y'all.
Yes.
Oh yes, ma'am. You'll enjoy it. We laughed this past week.
Yes, I'm gonna have to watch. I'm gonna have to watch the replay because, I got tied up, and I was like, before I knew it, you guys were gone. So I will watch the replay and support that, and I will catch up.
Thank you, ma'am.
On the past video.
Okay.
All right,
I enjoyed myself tonight, ladies. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna go in here and spend a little time with my husband before he goes to sleep.
Yes,
I know that's right.
All right, so good night, Janine. Good night, Kenya.
Good night.
Good night.
Al and V and everyone else. Good night.
Okay. You grew up by that hospital. Yes. All right, girl.
Bye-bye.
Night.